Welcome to Miami, a city synonymous with luxury, where the yachts are as big as the mansions, and every street hums with the energy of extravagant parties. But
Little Haiti, where local businesses are feeling the threat of big development.
Business owners who have been there for decades fear they will soon be forced out.
A Northwest Miami-Dade community is fighting for affordable housing and against a new development in their neighborhood.
If you thought rent prices are very high in South Florida, you were right. Miami, for example, is ranked the least affordable housing market in the U.S.
beneath all the glamour, there are communities throughout Miami that are feeling firsthand the effects of gentrification and historic redlining. Redlining, a discriminatory practice that consists of the systematic denial of services such as mortgages, insurance loans, and other financial services to residents of certain areas based on their race or ethnicity. This practice was legal in the 1930s and used by the Homeowner Loan Corporation to map out areas within the United States for the best places for housing investments. White communities with strong racially restricted deeds were deemed as desirable and got a grade A rating on the map, while Black communities, regardless of their economic status, were given a grade D rating and deemed as high risk and hazardous. No federally backed loans would be made there, and this stopped opportunities for Black communities to build wealth through real estate. Although this was outlawed in 1968, the damage was already done. We spoke to Willie Williams, a resident, pastor, and an owner of a barbershop and juice shop in Overtown, Miami, to discuss how these policies affect him and his family today.
The people that was really in charge, they knew every move this community made. So they realized that this community doesn't flood. One lady, she sold her property for $14,000, and the guy, he told her a lie, said he gonna do some type of program for the community or whatever. As soon as he got it, he flipped it, and they're baiting them to sell, and they show them some money that they never saw in their life, but you're giving up so much, for so little. People are coming at least once a month trying to buy me out, and I say, before I sell, I will build.
As for immigrants pursuing the American dream, the challenges are further compounded as they strive to establish themselves in an ever-demanding system. We spoke with Ann Paul, a Haitian immigrant navigating studies and work in South Florida, to gain insight into her experiences.
It was a hard journey, but I had my family to support me. My mom back in Haiti supported me. I think without them, I wouldn't be able to make it. People from your country, since they're not here to see what you're experiencing, they're like, oh, you're making money, you live in the States. The dream that they're selling out there is making you feel so bad about yourself because you cannot help those people back in Haiti because you're trying to make ends meet here. Like, I can basically afford a little bit of groceries, some of the bills that I have to pay, help around the house, and that's it.
And Paul states that on top of the pressure of working to make ends meet, the influx of luxury buildings is gentrifying the culture out of the communities that she knows and loves.
Like those little communities, that's what brings us back to our culture. If you can go back to your country, you can go to those little communities, you feel warm in your heart. You're like, it feels a little bit better. I feel like I'm back home a little.
A recent study by the National Community Reinvestment Coalition reveals that Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties rank 4th in the U.S. for the intensity of gentrification between 2013 and 2017. This trend has only accelerated with the influx of new residents from other states between 2020 and 2022. We gained some insight from Dr. Howard Frank, a professor of public policy and administration at FIU, as to why this is happening in South Florida.
The Census Bureau, and we do a lot of work, says that you're considered cost burdened if you're giving up 30% of your income, and severely burdened if it's 50%. In Dade and Broward, you're giving up 60% of your income to keep a roof over your head. What's expensive for the natives isn't so expensive for the thousands of people who are coming in. In other words, I think we're having gentrification of the state.
On top of that, These communities, such as Little Haiti, Overtown, and Little Havana, predominantly immigrant communities, suffer from what is known as a food swamp. But there are people that are trying to actively combat this issue going on in these communities. We spoke to Jessica Gutierrez from Miami Fridge Community to speak more about her organization's impact by having community fridges filled with fresh foods and produce in these affected neighborhoods.
That food swamps are areas where there's not access to like fresh foods, and there's many like fast food places. We are just one of the many solutions to fight hunger in a community. It was actually inspired by a network of fridges I saw when I lived in the Bronx for a short period of time. And I was like trying to figure out how to create a more sustainable option for our community. And that's when I realized the community fridges would be a good way. If we throw a fridge here in the community, specifically communities that are being gentrified, that are experiencing a plethora of challenges, I think that my goal was like, let's start the conversation. Why is there a fridge there? Oh, what's going on in Overtown? Oh, what's going on in Little Havana, Hialeah? Like, what are the issues in these areas that are actually getting people to experience hunger?
The Miami Fridge community is just one piece to the puzzle, but also people like Thomas Smitherman are bringing jobs into the community. Thomas is the co-owner of Hammock Greens, a local agri-tech park in Overtown that applies cutting-edge technology to grow green leafy vegetables.
There's an impact that it has on a person when being involved with growing. When you work with living product and you're growing and you're producing, it's very rewarding that you're producing something that you can have such a source of pride in. I'm not sure that I can put it in tangible metrics that make it so that you can really feel it. But when you're done working here, you feel better. You feel better about what you did. You feel better about the community.
Willie Williams' sister, Samina, works at Hammock Greens, and she expresses how much she appreciates having a job like this in her neighborhood.
And I just like to see things grow, so they did brought that joy into my life to plant something and watch it come from babies. And he hired a lot of people that's in the neighborhood and give them a shot and a try to, to let them appreciate this area.
As Miami grapples with its past and present issues of food swamps, gentrification, and the after effects of redlining, how can its residents continue to push towards an equitable future to keep the communities they know and love alive?
As I work, I bring hope to the community, making sure that they know they can do better. You can do better, young lady. You can do better, young man. I help people. I don't just help black people. I don't just help, white people or Hispanics. I help people. I see you want to go forward, and if I send my realm to help you, I'm going to help you. Why? Because somebody helped me.
Take my master's or my doctorate, depending on how Haiti is, I want to go back. I want to try to make a change. My major might help me, it might not help me, but my connections will. I know that people crush my dreams, because my dream is to make it in life. I need to take care of my mom. My mom's been through a lot. She needs me to take care of her. And this is what I'm going to do.
Only time will tell as Miami continues to write its story of resilience and change.